Let's bring in Olumide Addition, our financial market analyst. Hello, Olumide. Great to have you.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Olumide, just from 2025, we did see the NGX hit new levels. Most of the investors, smiling to the bank right there. Fast forward, we're in 2026, first quarter, and we're still rallying on, hitting the 203,000 level, 1.20% up at intraday. So, normally, you don't expect an asset class to go up forever. Yeah. How are you seeing what's playing out with the NGX so far?
I think the Nigerian stock market is defying gravity. Just like you rightly said, this is an extended bull run. Records are broken quarterly. The stock market made the fastest 30 trillion in history. The stock market is already up by over 30 trillion naira. If you look at the NGX indexes are outperforming inflation rates and major indices around the market. I think reforms around the stock market, the currency, and renewed confidence, particularly higher interest from pension funds and Nigeria's richest men, has also amplified the market. Lad, if you look at the market under this present administration, the market's wealth has grown by over 90 trillion naira. When President Tinubu took office, the market was struggling to stay above 40 trillion. Right now, we are talking more of market eating almost 200 trillion with Dangote Refinery coming on board. So I think it's wrong to bet against the market. But just like you rightly alluded, if you look at it from the technical indices, the market looks at overbought levels. The RICI, the ATR that measures the true volume tells you that the market, it looks like it's getting a bubble. Because for the market to really restore that run that we are seeing currently, it has to pull back. And like I said, except, another thing comes in. But, just a few days ago, the president or the MD of the NGX, he announced that they were still they were trying to do some reforms to boost free float requirement. That also will trigger the stock market. We saw what happened in India, and market pundits are saying that could really also push the NGX to its best day ever.
So, definitely, when an asset class goes up a lot, investors start to expect, a pullback. What would a pullback look like on the NGX, with these levels we've hit so far?
It's very hard to call it because if you look at the performance exactly early this year, MTN and Zebra triggered the run. Now we're seeing GT and Zenith. This morning at one point, Zenith looked like taking over the mantle from GT as the most valuable bank, but we saw that GT is ending stronger. You also look at tier 2 banks. Wema, one of the fastest growing banks, who would have thought that Wema will hit the 1 trillion naira market valuation? So, Ladi, it's very difficult because pension funds, you look at FPIs, you look at the crude oil market, you look at the fact that Burning Light is trading above $100 per barrel. You also look at the fact that interest in non-denominated assets is interesting. You also look at the fact that stock market in the United States looks bleak with Donald Trump's cat race with Iran and tariffs. So investors' options are kind of limited, and people are betting that, it's an election year, market might correct, but we want to bet against this hot rally, So that's really what's happening right now.
Yeah, and talking about betting against a rally, we have two kind of investors here, or maybe individuals. We have one that's been on the sideline. They've not come into this market. That's talking about the NGX. Then we have another individual that's been there, made some profit here and there, flipped, different stocks. What's your advice to the newbie that's not invested in this market, but is looking at this market, looking very attractive right now? Is this where you come in as a new investor?
I don't think, looking at the market cycle, I don't think this is the best place to really position heavily on the stock market. For those that really missed the rally, I think lessons are that those that took the biggest risk, those that believed in the reforms, those that understood how on the intrinsic value of these assets were, and those that aligned with Nigeria's richest men, most likely will benefit. But I think going forward, there's always going to be opportunities. Dangote Fertilizer is already showing prominence in global markets. 1/3 of his exports is already in the United States. So the listing of that definitely will intrigue the market. We're also waiting for Dangote refinery. He has promised that he's going to list that before the end of third quarter. Possibly that should be stock. But most importantly, I think a new bill should align with regulated investment banks, stockbroking firms. These guys, they spend their life on the market. They understand the intricacies of these things, and you also need to understand that it's not always merriment like this. This is once once in 100 years. Since I've been covering the market, I've not seen this extended run in the Nigerian stock market ever. So I think for those that are really urging to press the play, I think you might take it cool and also just learn and put in whatever you can afford to lose.
Yeah, at this stage, most investors or experienced investors don't like coming in at the top. It's very annoying when you come in there and you become a bag holder. Yeah, but I guess you need all the information to navigate this. Thank you so much, Olumide Adesina, financial market analyst. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.